Welcome back to the second annual BYU Basketball Media Day on BYUtv Brandon Davies still eating his breakfast, so we'll have him after Bill Hoops. We'll chat with Bill here in a moment. I'm Jarom Jordan. If you have questions for Bill Hoops, marketing coordinator, official title?
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Okay. Tweet using the hashtag BYUtv Sports, post on facebook.com/BYUtv Sports, or type in a question in the chat widget in the window you're currently watching this in online. So, Bill, how's it going?
Things are good.
Things are great. Bill, at BYU, former Utah Valley State College catcher on the baseball team. You still wait for the draft day call, right?
Every single June.
That's no joke, too. We're serious about that.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of football season here, and we pause in the middle of the week to start talking hoops. It's never too early to talk hoops. So tell us what you do with BYU basketball.
I am in charge of, for lack of a better way of saying it, getting butts in seats and then making sure they have fun when they get there. And so a lot of that is just advertising, putting the commercials together with a crew of great folks. And then also putting together the script for the PA announcer to read, and then fulfilling all corporate sponsorships and making sure that we do the right thing to represent the companies that support us. And then just game atmosphere, the sheet drops, the video boards, the cheer squad, the Cougars, Cosmo band, getting everybody on the same page to put together a good show when the ball's not bouncing. And
it's been a good show. You guys have done a great job every year. Tell us about what's maybe a little different about this season.
Just the main effort has been the Marriott Center renovations. Coming and then flip-flopping the arena, having the teams and the press on where the courtside Cougars used to be, and then moving courtside Cougars onto the other side, and then moving the students behind on the baseline and on the west side there. Just there's some shuffling that changes a little bit of game atmosphere, and we're excited to put it all together.
I know a lot of thought and preparation and study went into particularly the student section switch. I guess tell us about why that's advantageous for BYU and what went into that decision.
It was a long decision. The university made the decision to make some renovations and update the seating, and they decided to go with the benches first. And with that coming, we thought it was a good time to move the students to the west end. It's difficult because they've come to expect, and we've built it up into such a great student section, and they've come to expect that experience. But we feel that it can still be a great home atmosphere, and the students will still have a blast in their new section. Just can't wait to get them in there to experience that. But a lot went into it, because not just the students were affected, longtime season ticket holders, folks that have been dying to get into the lower bowl, as noticed by how many more season tickets we've sold. It's been quite the process, but I think in the end it'll still be a great Marriott Center atmosphere, and maybe even improve with students being able to do some wacky things while the opposing team's on the free throw line in the second half and that sort of thing.
And BYU is not the only school that has this setup where they're just behind a basket primarily. San Diego State, the show as they like to call themselves, Utah State, primarily behind the basket, with Bill there distracting people. Not you, the other Bill up at Utah State. Yeah. This is not, Wild Bill.
Yeah.
Well, that's your name sometimes, but
yeah.
The Utah State, San Diego State, other teams do this, and it's advantageous because, like you said, you can distract, and in the second half, if the other team's going that way, you could sway the game, whereas you're kind of just off to the right before.
Right. Fully plan on having a scorecard of free throws missed right there.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think the students will get on board with it and make it a good time for everybody, or a bad time for the opposing team.
If you have a question for Bill Hoops, remember to tweet us using hashtag BYUtv Sports, facebook.com/BYUtv Sports, or use the chat widget on BYUtvsports.com. We're all over the place. If you look at, like you mentioned, season ticket sales a little increased, how much more, and how can people get season tickets if they want?
We've increased season tickets, the quantity of season tickets sold by 2,000, over 2,100 season tickets
At this time,
at this time last year.
that's great.
Yeah, that's a big jump. And so it's wonderful. The lower bowl is sold out, with exception to the student section, which we'll hold. And it just meant it was time. It was time to make a move, because fans wanted to move down. They wanted to be closer. They wanted 4 inches of width and 8 to 12 inches of length on their on the end of their knees. Just fans are excited about it, and Coach Rose has built up a great program that when we make moves like this, we see how many fans there are out there that really want to be a part of it, be a part of what he's built, just by making a few adjustments and then telling fans about it.
Yeah, change is hard, but I think it'll be cool once we get into it.
Yeah.
So wear white. That's the thing. We put up white in the background here to kind of set the tone. Wear white to the games this year.
In general, that's what we've been doing the last 3 years. But just further trying to share it, the bookstore T-shirt that they sell is white. Our team's home jerseys, when we're on our home floor, we're white. And so I know for football we wear blue, with the exception of this Saturday. You're supposed to wear black. But for the most part, we're wearing white at home, unless we do something crazy like a blue-white thing like the Hawaii game. But
And that was awesome, by the way. That was well done by your staff there. That was great. So sometimes there's season ticket holders that don't show up. They're not going to go to the game, or other people that don't go to the game. There's a way to transfer your tickets now. Tell us about that.
This will be something important this year, how fast those seats sold out. When we went on sale with renewals, a lot of folks were buying up the maximum quantity of tickets they could purchase, or companies or whatever. Excuse me. But we want to have a way for them to make sure that those seats are full every game. We've sold them now, and that's wonderful. And it is often about the bottom line and raising revenue for student scholarships. But it's also about atmosphere and making sure people now use those tickets and come. And so they can go to ticket transfer at BYUtickets.com. There'll be emails coming out about it as well, just to invite fans that if for some reason they can't make it themselves, and all 11 of the other tickets that they purchased, they can make sure that they can transfer those tickets to their friends electronically, which is a great thing, or they can put it on Ticket Marketplace and try to resell those tickets on our own BYUtickets.com secondary market. Or third, you can just do it old school and just, you have your ticket, get it to your neighbor, get it to your friend, get it to somebody who normally doesn't have the opportunity to come, and just make sure those seats are full for our guys. I know a lot of times it's the opponent or the time of week or whatever. I don't know. I just know that every game Brandon Davies and the guys are going to be on the floor, and it's going to be a Coach Rose basketball game, which is going to be high-paced, up-tempo, great version of basketball to watch, and that seat needs to be full.
It's a party every time, especially with the sheet drop, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
We're chatting with Bill Hoops, marketing coordinator for men's basketball. He's in charge of making sure the home games are the coolest thing you've ever been to. If you've got a question for him, tweet it using hashtag BYUtv Sports, facebook.com/BYUtv Sports, or put it in the chat widget on BYUtvsports.com. Let's look at let's see the commercial that you guys have released, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Okay, nicely done. Andy Brimhall and his group, of course, making great stuff. Andy, a student, by the way. It just does tremendous work. So tell us a little bit about that video and what the motivation for that was. Sport court out at the Riverwoods, and you did some crazy stuff for that.
We get our inspiration from the things we see on TV and YouTube, and saw a commercial done with Blake Griffin on the beaches in California. where they had a court right out there on the beach and fans all around. And we thought, okay, well, we've got a sport court now that's BYU branded, and we've got a hoop that we can take anywhere. Let's get out. Originally, the thoughts were to go to Squaw Peak and go to the Linden Boat Harbor and do a couple of those things. It didn't work out with the timing we had. But Riverwoods was awesome in Provo to let us in and invade on their lives. And then we sent a message out to fans saying, hey, we're going to be here. You want to come? And had a great fan turnout. The idea is just that our guys are, in general, quite the fun-loving group. Willing to play, and they just love basketball. No matter when, no matter where, they just love to play the game. And so, 5 start and 21,000 finish, and hopefully the fans enjoyed it. And yeah, the crew behind it, Andy Brimhall, Jordan Feinauer, they do a spectacular job putting that kind of stuff together.
Put lights up, your alley-oop in here. That's probably the official outdoor BYU basketball. Brock Zylstra is throwing down. That looks like a party. Every home game is this times 20. It looks like.
Yeah.
Alley-oops off the backboard and throwdowns. Yeah. We expect a lot of this year, right?
I'm really hoping. Brandon's looking pretty good this year.
That mustache is looking particularly good. Does he still have the mustache right now?
Yeah, it's something that he rocks on an everyday occasion.
That's a new addition this year?
Yeah.
Okay, we hope that's a 7-point per game addition as well.
Yeah. And that he touches it just in every interview, just to draw attention to it.
We won't mention that to him. We'll see if he does it in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's talk about the 2 games at Energy Solutions Arena. This becomes another event that you guys end up doing with Montana and Virginia Tech.
Correct. Usually we only have one Energy Solutions Arena game. This year we get to have 2. They're about a month apart, and one is actually during a weekday, which is kind of a different thing. We can't use the Marriott Center at that time because of Christmas around the world, and so we get to play Montana up there. The idea is just one. We've got a lot of fans in Salt Lake, and it's fun to just get into a pro basketball arena and play some basketball and work with their crew up at Energy Solutions to put on the game, and it's a good time. Also, at the same time, the lights at Temple Square are going on. There's a lot to do right there downtown, and so we hope fans that are even around here, down here in Utah County, especially the students, will make a extra special effort to put together a very organized date night to go see the lights at Temple Square, come see us play some basketball, grab some food at City Creek or the Gateway, whatever, and have a good time with us in Salt Lake.
The last couple of years have been memorable as well. Oregon was a tremendous game. The year before that, Arizona with Derek Williams, who ended up being a high draft pick, and of course, Jimmer. So it's been a lot of fun up at Energy Solutions Arena. Yeah. How about fan support on the road? BYU typically does really well. I guess what do you say to those fans who don't live nearby but hope to attend BYU games this year, all over the country, all the way up to New York this year?
That's something we're really trying to put a lot of effort into. Is getting the word out to fans when we're going to be in town, and hopefully they'll be able to join us in some way. Hopefully they'll be able to buy a ticket early enough in advance to get into some of these arenas in the West Coast Conference especially. But it's a great opportunity to come and be a part of the team, and hopefully we can come to a city near some fans that haven't seen us in a while. But if you're watching or if you see this, take a look at the schedule, see when we're coming, and find a way to get there and support us, and we hope to be able to see you there.
We see these guys on the court, and we know what their personalities are like on the court. Give us a little insight into what these guys are actually like as people, because I know Brandon Davies is a little shy on camera, but off cam, this guy's the funniest guy on the team probably.
We have a lot of fun. In my role, I get to see him in commercial settings or when we're putting some things together, and so they're pretty laid back and fun-loving folks. I know my counterpart Kyle Chilton also gets to see them quite a bit, and they're great guys. Several of them are family men, having a family with a spouse, and even Brock Zylstra with his little girl. And so it's just great to see them. It's interesting. We see them on the floor and how intense it is, and we count so much on them to be great on the floor. But life continues to go on for each of them. They have challenges, they have school, they have all these things going on, and but to see them with their families and with their friends, they're a great bunch of guys. Brandon Davies he's a goofball.
He doesn't bring it out for people to see, but he is funny.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's with the fans, and he said he barely got to watch the football game last week because he was taking pictures with fans the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's very generous and very kind in that way as well.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to a great year. I guess any last message for BYU fans that you hope to get from them at the home games this season?
Just that it doesn't matter really who we're playing. It matters that our guys are on the floor, and I can't wait to it doesn't matter even their performance for me because I've gotten to know them, and I hope that the things that we can do can help fans get to know them a little bit better, so that no matter what, we're there supporting them. But by the way, I think they're going to be a great basketball team and bring a lot of pride and a lot of excitement to the Marriott Center.
I always think of the BYU basketball team, man, these guys are good. And then the second thing is, this is fun. Yeah. The home games are fun, and you help with that. So thanks a lot, Bill. Appreciate the time.
You betcha.
Okay, that was Bill Hoops, marketing coordinator for BYU men's basketball. Coming up, Brandon Davies, mustache and all, in the house. Tweet your questions using hashtag BYUtv Sports, Facebook.com/BYUtv Sports, and in the chat widget on BYUtvsports.com. The big man's coming up.